It always begins with a moment you almost miss. A flicker in her eyes. A silence that lingers half a second too long. A breath she takes as if she wants to speak, but chooses not to. You feel it before you can explain it. That pull, that tension, that quiet storm building between you. She's right there, emotionally, mentally, magnetically. But something in her holds her back, like a hand gripping the edge of a cliff she isn't sure she can climb. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice the signs she doesn't say out loud. The signs that whisper, "I'm ready. I just don't know if I'm allowed to be." This is Psychology of Desire, where we decode the hidden forces that shape attraction, devotion, and human behavior. If you're drawn to the deeper layers of the mind, breathe in, relax, and subscribe. Not out of need, but because you're the kind of man who wants to see the world beneath the surface. Now, let's begin. She doesn't tell you she's ready. She won't. Not because she's uninterested, but because she feels too much. And women who feel deeply rarely move quickly. Instead, they reveal themselves in fragments, small, unpolished pieces of truth that slip out when her defenses are tired of pretending. The first sign comes wrapped in contradiction. She pulls closer just enough for you to feel her warmth, then drifts away as if she's afraid the closeness might expose something she can't hide. She asks about your day a little too softly, looks at you a little too long, laughs in a way that feels unguarded, and then, out of nowhere, grows quiet. Not distant, just cautious. It's the quiet of someone who wants more, but fears wanting too much. You notice her attention, how she watches the way you move, the way you speak, the way you take up space. She doesn't just look at you. She studies you. Not to judge you, but to understand the gravity you have in her world. Because a woman ready for you, yet hesitant to show it, treats your presence like a language she's trying to decode. And then there are the moments she shares something unexpectedly vulnerable. A story she didn't plan to tell, a truth she didn't think she would reveal, a glimpse into a part of her world she usually keeps locked. It slips out naturally, as if her heart forgets to stay guarded. That vulnerability is never accidental. It's the unconscious mind opening the door just wide enough to see if you'll walk through gently. Her body betrays her in ways her words refuse to. Her feet point toward you even when her eyes look away. Her shoulders relax only when you speak. She mirrors your movements without realizing she's doing it. The tilt of your head, the pace of your breath, the rhythm of your voice. It's her subconscious aligning with yours, trying to sync with the energy she's still afraid to name. She remembers things you didn't think she noticed. The tone you used when something bothered you, the small detail you mentioned once, the way your expression shifts when you're lost in thought. Her mind stores these things like a collector holding pieces of something valuable. Not because she's obsessed, but because she's preparing a space for you in her emotional world, quietly, carefully, without announcing it. And perhaps the deepest sign, she tests the waters with subtle emotional risks, a half-joke that reveals a truth, a question that brushes the edge of intimacy, a message sent at the exact moment she knew you'd be thinking of her. She's not playing games, she's checking for safety. She wants to know if you're someone her heart can trust with its unspoken weight. But she won't tell you she's ready. She'll let these moments accumulate like sparks waiting for a flame, hoping you will read the signs written in her hesitation, hoping you will understand that readiness doesn't always look bold. Sometimes it looks like fear standing right next to desire, quiet, trembling, and hoping you notice. There's a point where her hesitation becomes its own kind of confession. Not loud, not obvious, but powerful in the way a heartbeat is powerful, felt more than heard. If you stay present long enough, you'll see the way she fights between the woman she is and the woman she's becoming because of you. She starts showing up differently, not by changing herself, but by letting you see the versions she usually hides from the world. Her guardedness cracks in tiny, almost invisible ways. The softness in her tone when she says your name, The way she lingers after conversations as though she wants to say something more. The subtle glow in her expression when she sees you unexpectedly. These aren't accidents. They're emotional slips. Moments where readiness overtakes her fear, even if only for a second. And you'll notice something else. Her silence becomes meaningful. Not empty. Not cold. Just weighted. As if her mind is carrying 1,000 thoughts she doesn't yet have the courage to spill. A woman who hesitates isn't unsure about you. She's unsure about the consequences of admitting she wants you. Because desire, real, deep desire, changes everything. Once she speaks it, she can't take it back. So she lets the silence say what her words are afraid to. Then comes the shift in her energy. You'll see it in how she listens, fully, attentively, as if your voice touches something inside her. She leans into your presence, even when she pretends she's not. Her guard drops around you without her permission, like her body has already decided you're safe before her mind can catch up. And safety, for a woman who feels deeply, is the doorway to devotion. Her hesitance becomes a rhythm. One step forward, half a step back. She opens up, then retreats. She lets you in, then builds a small wall just to watch if you'll knock gently or walk away. Not because she's testing you in a manipulative way, but because her heart has been shaped by everything she's lived through. Past wounds, past disappointments, past moments where she handed herself to someone who didn't know how to hold her. So now she moves with caution, slow, intentional, thoughtful. She's ready, but readiness doesn't erase fear. When she trusts you enough to let you see her contradictions, that's when the truth becomes undeniable. You'll notice her trying to hide how much she cares, but failing in the softest ways. The way her breath catches when you get close. The way she blushes when you compliment her mind, not her beauty. The way she tries to seem indifferent, but her eyes betray her every single time. Eyes don't lie. They tell the story she's not brave enough to speak. And then comes the rarest sign. She allows you to influence her emotional world. Not control it. Influence it. Your presence calms her. Your absence stirs something in her she doesn't want to admit. Your opinions matter, your words linger, and your reassurance sinks deeper than she expected. A woman who hesitates is a woman who feels intensely. Her feelings for you are already alive. She's simply trying to decide if she can survive them. You'll catch her dreaming in your direction. Her guard will slip when she talks about the future, and you'll hear yourself in the spaces between her words. Not directly, but woven in the possibilities she describes. That's not imagination. That's desire trying to find a safe place to land. And beneath all of this, there's one truth you can't ignore. Her hesitation is not distance. It's depth. It's her heart preparing itself for something real. Because real things require courage, and courage takes time to breathe. There comes a moment, a quiet, fragile moment, when her hesitation no longer hides her truth. It reveals it. You'll feel it before you see it, like a change in the air, like the warmth of a flame moving just a little closer to your skin. She starts letting her guard down in ways that feel unintentional, yet unmistakably intimate. She becomes more honest with you, not in grand confessions, but in small, raw pieces of herself she never planned to share. She tells you about the things that shaped her, the people who broke promises, the moments that taught her to be cautious. She gives you the context behind her hesitation, without ever saying it directly. Because when a woman is ready for you, her soul starts speaking in truths she didn't mean to reveal, and you'll notice something subtle. She begins to protect the space between you, not with walls, but with effort. She replies with intention. She shows up when she doesn't have to. She gives you her time in ways she doesn't give to others. Not because she's trying to impress you, but because she's making room for you without realizing she's doing it. Her emotional energy shifts toward you. You become the person she thinks of when something good happens, and the one she wants to talk to when something heavy sits on her chest. You feel it in her tone, warmer, softer, almost as if she's speaking from a deeper layer of herself when she talks to you. She might hesitate with her words, but her energy doesn't lie. Energy reveals everything the mouth tries to hide. And then there's the pull. That unmistakable gravitational shift. Her presence around you becomes charged, even in silence. She stands just a little closer than before. She lingers just a second longer. Her eyes drop to your lips for a fraction of a moment before darting away, hoping you didn't notice, knowing you probably did. That's not uncertainty. That's desire wrestling with restraint. She starts to initiate small moments of vulnerability. A question she normally wouldn't ask, a compliment she gives more carefully than she should, a confession disguised as a joke. Each one is her way of saying, I'm opening up, slowly, but I'm opening. And you'll see the fear too. Not fear of you, but fear of losing herself in you, fear of caring too much, fear of repeating mistakes that still echo in her memory. When a woman hesitates even though she's ready, it's because her heart is trying to protect her from the intensity of what she feels. Desire can be a dangerous thing, especially when it feels like it could change everything she thought she understood about connection. Watch how she listens to you. Her focus becomes deeper, more present, as if your words carry weight for her. She remembers the small things, details most people forget, moments you didn't think mattered. She holds those pieces like clues, trying to understand you, trying to decide if you're someone she can trust with the most fragile parts of her. And slowly, you become her emotional reference point. She measures her reactions around your presence. She becomes more aware of the way she feels when you walk into a room, the shift in her chest when she hears your voice, the comfort she feels simply knowing you exist in her world. These aren't signs of confusion. They're signs of readiness wrapped in vulnerability. A woman who hesitates is not running from you. She's running from the intensity of her own desire. She's waiting to know if you're the kind of man who understands the difference. Because when she finally chooses to step toward you fully, she won't come halfway. She will come with her whole heart. And she needs to know you're someone who can hold it with steadiness, patience, and presence. There's a point where her hesitation softens, where the tension between wanting you and protecting herself starts to crumble beneath the weight of everything she feels. It's subtle, quiet enough that she hopes you won't notice, but powerful enough that she can't hide it anymore. You'll feel it in the way she looks at you. Not the glance she gives the world, but the one she saves for you alone. It's slower, warmer, almost reverent, like she's memorizing you without meaning to. Her eyes soften at the edges, as if you're no longer just someone in her life, but someone her heart is slowly anchoring itself to. Her hesitation begins to transform. It's no longer a barrier. It becomes a doorway, a threshold, an invitation wrapped in uncertainty. She steps toward you emotionally, not because she's suddenly fearless, but because her desire now speaks louder than her doubt. You'll notice her letting you see the parts of her she usually hides. Her sarcasm when she's nervous, her softness when she's tired, her depth when she stops pretending she's fine. She lets you see her humanity, not the polished version she presents to the world. And that is one of the most intimate signs a woman can ever give. She doesn't just react to you, she responds to you. Your moods influence her tone. Your presence steadies her breath. Your absence creates a quiet restlessness she doesn't fully understand. She thinks about what you'd say, what you'd think, how you'd feel, not because she needs your approval, but because she values your emotional gravity. And then, the real shift happens. She starts trusting you with silence. Most people fill silence to avoid it. But her silence around you isn't distance. It's comfort. It's safety. It's the unspoken message that says, I don't need to perform around you. I can simply exist. That level of ease is rare. It's a sign of readiness that has nothing to do with words, and everything to do with how her nervous system reacts to your presence. Watch how she becomes more intentional. Her hesitations become smaller. Her walls become thinner. She lets your words settle deeper, lets your presence sit closer, lets your energy shape her emotional rhythm. Not because you asked for it, but because her heart has already chosen you, quietly, secretly, long before her mind catches up. Sometimes she'll pull back, a sudden distance, a shorter message, a moment of emotional retreat. And you might think she's losing interest, but she isn't. She's recalibrating. She's checking her footing because she feels the ground shifting beneath her. She's not afraid of you. She's afraid of how much she could feel for you, and what that could cost her if it falls apart. But the deeper truth is this. Every time she pulls back, she eventually comes closer. Not because she's unsure, but because denying the connection feels harder than embracing it. You'll see it in her small, unguarded moments. The way she says your name when she's distracted, the softness in her voice when she tells you something personal, the tiny smile she can't hide when you surprise her with understanding. These moments are emotional reveals, the kind she can't undo or take back. And each one says, I'm ready for you. I just need to trust the fall. Because for a woman like her, a woman who feels deeply, who thinks deeply, who guards her heart with quiet fierceness, readiness doesn't come with bold declarations. It comes with subtle shifts, soft openings, carefully placed pieces of truth. And if you're patient, if you're steady, if you see what she's not saying, you'll become the place where her hesitation finally dissolves. Her heart isn't waiting for a perfect man. It's waiting for a safe one, a present one. A man who doesn't push, doesn't chase, doesn't pressure. A man who stands calm at the doorway of her fear, until she chooses to step through on her own. There comes a moment when her hesitation no longer feels like resistance, but surrender. Not the kind of surrender that weakens her, the kind that frees her. You'll see it in the way she stops overthinking around you, how her shoulders unclench, how her voice deepens with a softness she never intended you to hear. It's the moment her heart decides, quietly, instinctively, that you're someone she can fall toward without losing herself. Her readiness begins to bloom in ways she can't control. She starts letting you into spaces that were once off limits. Not physical spaces, but emotional ones. Her dreams, her fears, the things that keep her awake at night. She lets you see the fragile threads beneath her strength. Not because you ask, but because trust makes her brave. And bravery is the final language of desire. You'll feel her shift in the smallest gestures, the way she reaches out first, the way she opens up without being prompted, the way she lets your presence settle into her life like something essential. She stops guarding her laughter. She stops hiding her longing. She stops pretending she doesn't feel the pull between you. She begins to choose you in subtle, everyday ways. Choosing to talk to you, choosing to share her thoughts, choosing to let you hold a part of her inner world. Love doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It releases itself in quiet, unmistakable decisions. And when she finally trusts what she feels, her hesitation dissolves into clarity. Soft, but certain. Gentle, but real. She'll look at you with a truth her words haven't spoken yet. A truth that says, I'm ready now. I just needed to know you'd still be here when I was. Because that's the reality most men never understand. A woman isn't afraid of loving. She's afraid of being unheld, unseen, unprotected. She's afraid of giving her soul to someone who treats it like a passing moment. But when she realizes you're present, steady, emotionally grounded, that's when everything inside her aligns. Her eyes soften, her laughter deepens, her guard opens, and she lets you in, fully, willingly, without hesitation. That is the final sign, not words, not confessions, but presence. A presence that feels like a choice she keeps making, again and again. When a woman is ready for you but hesitates to say it, she won't tell you in sentences. She'll show you in energy, in silence, in small acts of courage. And if you pay attention, If you read her subtleties the way you read her desire, you'll understand exactly what she's trying to say without speaking. Because readiness isn't loud, it's a quiet opening, a slow unfolding, a heart stepping out from behind its own fear. And when she finally reaches you, she reaches with her whole self. This is the psychology of desire, the space where hesitation becomes truth, and truth becomes connection. If this resonated with you, breathe in. Remember what you've learned, and stay close. There are deeper layers waiting to be explored.